What is up, you guys? Nabakon here, bringing you my perspective as to what Entertainer is bringing us. And today, we'll be talking about Paramore's self-titled album. Their fourth studio album was released in April 5th, 2013, with critical and commercial success. This album was promoted as a statement and reintroduction to the band to the whole world and themselves. This album was praised for the band's maturity and experimentation with a lot of musical genres. This album charted at number one on the Billboard 200, their first album to do so. It is currently certified platinum, meaning it has sold over 1 million copies in the US alone. Paramore is currently one of my favorite pop punk bands, although they kind of separated themselves from punk. They still make pop punk songs on some occasions whenever they make new music. Brand New Eyes is my favorite album from them. Normally, I would go track by track, but this album has over 17 songs, and it would take a long time for me to go over all of the tracks on the album. So I'll get into most of the highlights on this album has for me. We start off with the song "Faster by Car." This song shows that not only the band has matured, but also sets the tone that they are not teenagers anymore, ranting about petty shit. They are mellowed out like adults, and this song sets the tone of what's to come for this album, sound wise and lyrically wise. It's a strong opener. There is a recurrent aspect to this album, and that is love. At the time, lead singer Hayley Williams was dating Chad Gilbert, who is the lead guitarist for New Found Glory. There are several love songs in this album, such as Proof, Still Into You, Hate to See Your Heart Break, and Last Hope. My favorite one out of these four is honestly Proof. It's bubblegum pop, but with some edge to it. Also, the bass from Jeremy Davis is great. Yeah, the bass lines are fantastic in this whole entire album. Probably the best in Paramore's discography. Not only you can hear them more clearly, but they are so funky and they feel so good to hear. A shame that over the years he treats the band very poorly. Let's now head to the singles, starting with Now. This song embodies Paramore's transition from the past to the present, and it's a significant song that did not feature the Farrell brothers at the time. Now embodies moving forward, and it's a great song to boot up on, and it's a very great way to show that this album is going to be very different from Paramore's past albums. A very good lead single. Still Into You is the second single and was actually very successful, peaking at number 24 on the Billboard Hot 100. A huge feat for the band at the time. The song is currently certified double platinum. It's not hard to see why it was very popular. It's a bubblegum pop rock song with loads of new wave elements. It also has a message that is very easy for the casual crowd. It's a love song, and it does not hide it. I like this song, but it's not a favorite of mine, honestly. The third single is Daydreaming. It's the least successful single of the bunch, but it's still a solid track. This song sounds like something the Google Dolls would made. It kind of reminds me of Iris in some aspects. Like a 2010s version of it. It's a compliment. I'm not saying that as an insult. It's a compliment. The fourth single is Ain't It Fun, the most popular song from self-titled. This song is still to this day Paramore's highest charting single to date, peaking at number 10 at the Hot 100. For that is huge for a band like Paramore to get like a hot a to get a song to hit in the top 10 on the Hot 100 charts, and for a band that lasted this long. That's huge. Like, I can't comprehend to you guys how big of a deal that is. Like, that this goes to show you that pop punk still has a leg, still has a foothold in pop culture. Honestly, even though like there's minimal punk elements in this song, it's still it's still very significant to me that Paramore had a top 10 hit in the 2010s. Like, I can't stress it enough. That's a big deal. and the song is certified 3 times platinum, meaning that the song itself has sold over 3 million copies in the U.S. alone. So yeah, this out of all the singles out of all the singles, it's a tie for me between now or Ain't It Fun. I'm probably gonna have to give it to Ain't It Fun, honestly. Pro- the overplay probably ruined the song for a lot of people. I didn't hurt the song during its prime, so it didn't ruin it from. So I still think the song deals with the I think the song, from what I interpret the song, it's just I think the song interprets as I know that you, as an adult, you have to deal with a lot of shit. You have to deal with work, the family, personal life, life just gets life just gets in the way. But just have fun. Just do whatever you want because life is short. And I think that's what the message of this song is about. Just live your life in the real world, because it's not it. Yeah, yeah, but yeah, you have to work, pay bills. That's very important. But just go have fun in the real world. Just go have fun in the real world. Just you never know what's gonna happen. I think that's the message that Ain't It Fun has, and I think that's the reason why I think that's the reason why the I think that's the reason why the song really resonated with a lot of people. And some of my favorites include other favorites. Part two, part two is a sequel to Let the Flames Begin from Riot. That now this was a little bit more mellow compared to the predecessor, but it still hit. It still hits. It's still very good. Yeah, it and the last and the one significant song the a couple significant songs I want to talk about is One of Those Crazy Girls. That sounds like a like, not gonna lie to you, that song sounds like a Weezer song. Like like composition wise, maybe not lyrically wise, but composition wise, production wise, it literally sounds like a Weezer song. Like maybe it's just me that's hearing it, but it sounds like something Rivers Cuomo and friends would have made. But yeah, it's still I still really like it. It's probably why this song really hits for me. And also those guitar licks, they definitely sounds like something Weezer would have made. And another standout song for me is Be Alone. It definitely Be Alone sounds like something it Be Alone sounds like it would have fit right into Brand New Eyes, honestly. And considering that Brand New Eyes is my favorite album from Paramore, that is a huge compliment. So that's another song that I really love from this album. And you might be wondering why there's 17 songs from this album, and why it's over an hour long. So this Paramore's self-titled album has 3 interludes. Moving On, Holiday, and I'm Not Angry Anymore. Um, they don't do much for me because, like I said before, they're interludes. So if you took those interludes out, I feel like I wouldn't miss them at all. So so Paramore's self-titled album is honestly, this is honestly fantastic. Honestly, yeah, I there are so many fantastic songs that this album has, such as Fast in My Car, Now, Grow Up. I haven't talked about that song, but that song is fantastic. Ain't It Fun, Part 2, La- Blast Hope, Still Into You, Proof, Below, One of Those Crazy Girls. There's so many fantastic songs on this album. Yeah, in terms of what my favorite song is, I would probably say Proof, honestly. Proof is fantastic, honestly. It's one of my favorite songs the band has ever made. So yeah, if I'm being honest, Paramore's self-titled album for me gets a 4.5 out of 5. it's an absolute it's one of the greatest pop punk albums I in the 2010s, honestly. Like I don't know if there's any I don't know if there's a Paramore after I don't not many people know what how Paramore would followed up in albums such as Brand New Eyes after the Farrell brothers left. And honestly, this is a great follow up to Brand New Eyes. Well, I still prefer Brand New Eyes. Paramore's self-titled album is absolutely magnificent. It is a fantastic pop punk album with so many hits, so many bangers, so many. This is okay. I haven't talked about Haley Williams' performance. Yeah, Haley Williams sounds fantastic. She sounds beautiful in this song. I think the production really helped her in this album. She sounds so beautiful in this song in this album. Like some of my favorite performances from her is hate to see your heart break, be uh a few one of those crazy girls, l- still into you, daydreaming, ain't it fun, and still into you. Those are like some of the stand-up performances for Haley Williams. And Taylor York did a fantastic job on the guitar rips too. Jeremy Dave, yeah. As for the bass lines for Jeremy Davis, this is like the best from his career. Honest, if I'm being honest, I know I'm aware that some people said that this is Jeremy Davis's bass lines is like a significant downgrade from his previous works, but yeah, I feel like I feel like now that I can hear his bass lines more clearly, and the fact that it had a more funk and new wave groove, I think the bass lines really helped. It really made some of the songs for me. So, anyways, Paramore's self-titled album gets a 4.5 out of 5. Honestly, this honestly ties Riot for me. I might slightly prefer this album over Riot because of the band's maturity and how I'm growing up, and how I'm dealing with life right now. So yeah, I think this album resonates me more than Riot as time goes by. But that's not to say Riot is a bad album. Riot is a pop punk classic. But yeah, Paramore's a self-titled album. If you haven't checked this album out, you owe it to yourself to check. You owe it to yourself to check this album out. And if you're a Paramore fan and you somehow never heard this album, what are you doing? Please change that. You will not regret this. Please listen to this album. I will put the link to the album down in the description down below. Please, please check this album out. You will not regret hearing this album. And for those that have heard this album, did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't, if and make sure you follow my Instagram, Backlog and Letterboxd down in the description down below. This is Namikon, and I'll see you next time.